Welcome to Histosleep, a place where every gentle sound guides you toward peace, and every moment helps you drift into deep, restful sleep. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight. Dear listener, take a slow breath and feel the room around you soften. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Notice the quiet spaces between sounds and the gentle way your body knows how to rest when it is allowed to. You are safe here. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. Just be and listen, and allow the night to carry you. As you settle, imagine the air growing a little cooler, a little kinder. Perhaps there is rain outside, or the memory of rain. A steady rhythm tapping the window, a lullaby the sky has practiced for centuries. With each breath in, invite calm. With each breath out, release the day. Thoughts can drift by like clouds, noticed and then let go, because for now, you are simply listening. Our story today starts, and sets sail at a small bakery at the edge of a sleepy town, on a rainy day that seems to last forever in the best possible way. The sign above the door reads, "The New Rainy Day Bakery." Its paint a soft blue, letters slightly curved as if smiling. The windows glow warm and amber, and inside there is the gentle clink of ceramic, the whisper of flour on wood, and the low crackle of a hearth that never quite goes out. Imagine stepping inside with me. The bell above the door rings once, a polite little sound, then settles back into quiet. The scent of pancakes drifts through the air, buttery and sweet, with a hint of vanilla and something comforting you cannot quite name. Rain slides down the windows in slow trails, and every drop seems to know exactly where it is going. Behind the counter stands the baker, sleeves rolled, movements unhurried. There is no rush here. On rainy days, time loosens its grip. Batter rests in a bowl, thick and patient. A cast iron pan warms on the stove, and when the batter meets the surface, it sighs. That sound alone could make your eyelids heavy. Near the hearth, curled into a patchwork blanket, are 3 puppies. One is golden and sleepy, one is black with a white star on its chest, and the smallest is a soft gray ears, too big for its head. They twitch in their dreams, paws paddling gently, as if running through fields only they can see. Every so often, one lets out a tiny sigh, and the room seems to sigh with them. Outside, rain deepens. Inside, the bakery hums. There is a rhythm to it all, like breathing. Flip the pancake, steam rises. A mug is filled with something warm. The baker hums a tune that has no words, only comfort. And as you listen, you may notice your own breathing matching the pace, slow and even. If your mind wanders, that is perfectly fine. You can always come back to the sound of rain, to the image of the hearth, to the sleepy puppies. There is no right way to listen. Simply let the story wash over you. The baker pours maple syrup into a small jug, the amber liquid catching the light. The pancakes stack up, one by one, each one a soft pillow. Outside, leaves rustle as a breeze passes through, shaking off the rain. Inside, the puppies stir. One opening a single eye before deciding to sleep is far more important. The bakery has been here for generations, though it feels new every time it rains. People say it appears brightest on days like this, as if the weather itself is part of the recipe. The walls hold warmth, and the floorboards know every step. When you sit at one of the small wooden tables, your chair fits you perfectly, as if it has been waiting. And as you settle into that chair, listening to the rain and the gentle sounds of the kitchen sounds, your body may feel heavier, more relaxed. Your eyelids may flutter. That is okay. You can let them close whenever they wish. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. Now, return with me to the bakery. The rain softens again, becoming a gentle curtain of sound. The baker places a plate of pancakes on the counter, steam rising in lazy spirals. A pat of butter melts slowly, finding its own way. The puppies wake just enough to stretch, tiny yawns opening like flowers. Then they resettle closer to the hearth, warmth pulling them back into dreams. You might imagine picking up a mug, feeling the heat seep into your palms. The first sip is slow. It tastes like comfort and quiet mornings. Outside, the town rests. Inside, everything is exactly as it should be. As the story continues, there is nothing you need to remember. You do not need to follow every detail. You can simply drift, letting the images blur softly at the edges. The bakery will be here, steady and warm, even as sleep begins to take you. The baker moves calmly, cleaning as they go, humming that same wordless tune. The rain keeps time, the hearth glows, the puppies dream, and you, dear listener, can rest. The rain outside deepens into a steady, comforting rhythm, like fingers tapping gently on a well-loved book. Each drop seems intentional, as if the sky itself is slowing down for the evening. Inside the bakery, the light shifts slightly, growing softer, more golden, as the clouds settle in for a long stay. The baker moves toward the window and pauses, watching the rain trace quiet paths down the glass. There is no impatience in the pause, only presence. The world beyond the bakery feels far away, wrapped in mist and softened edges. The street lamp outside flickers on, casting a warm halo onto the wet pavement, where reflections ripple and blur. One of the puppies lifts its head, ears twitching at the sound of rain against the roof. The smallest gray one scoots closer to the others, pressing its side into the golden pup for warmth. Their breathing sinks again, slow and even, a gentle reminder of how easy rest can be when you let it happen. Somewhere in the bakery, a clock ticks, not loudly, just enough to remind time is still moving, though it has agreed to do so politely. Each second stretches, unhurried. You might notice your own body mirroring this pace, muscles loosening, thoughts thinning out like mist lifting from a field. The baker pours the remaining batter into a covered bowl and sets it aside for tomorrow. Rainy days often come in pairs here. There is a knowing sense that this quiet will return. The counter is wiped clean in smooth, circular motions. The pan cools on the stove, releasing faint warmth into the room. You might imagine the sound of the hearth now, a soft crackle, a gentle pop, the kind of sound that asks nothing of you except to listen. Shadows dance lazily along the walls, stretching and shrinking with each flicker of flame. They feel friendly, familiar, like old companions. Outside, a breeze moves through the trees, rustling wet leaves. The sound slips in through a slightly open window, mixing with the rain and the fire, creating a layered hush that feels complete. Nothing is missing. Nothing is too much. The baker finally sits at one of the small tables, cradling a mug. Steam rises and fades, rises and fades. Each breath is warm. Each breath out carries away whatever is left of the day. The puppies shift again, one letting out a tiny, contented sound, almost like a sigh of agreement with the world. If you find your thoughts drifting, let them. They can wander through the rain-soaked streets of the town, past closed shops and glowing windows. They can curl up by the hearth with the puppies, or they can simply dissolve into the rhythm of the rain, becoming part of the background. The bakery feels like a pause between moments, a place that exists not to impress, but to hold, to keep things gentle. The walls seem to lean in just slightly, as if listening along with you. Somewhere beyond the clouds, the night deepens. Here, the light remains steady. The baker closes their eyes for a moment, just a moment, breathing in the familiar sense of flour and warmth. When they open them again, there is a quiet smile, the kind that comes from knowing this is enough. You might notice your eyelids growing heavier now. That is natural. You can let them rest. The story does not need your attention to continue. It will carry on softly, whether you are awake or drifting. The rain begins to soften, not stopping, just easing, like it too is preparing for sleep. The puppies settle deeper into their blankets. The hearth glows low and steady. The bakery hums with contentment. And you, dear listener, can sink further into rest, knowing this gentle place will remain, waiting, warm and patient, whenever you return. The night outside the bakery grows quieter, not silent, just softened, like a quilt pulled up over the town. Rain still falls, but now it is lighter, more spaced out, each drop a gentle punctuation rather than a steady sentence, the kind of rain that encourages dreams. Inside, the baker rises again, moving slowly, almost ceremonially, as if each action is part of an evening ritual practiced over many years. A small lamp near the counter is dimmed, leaving only the hearth and the window glow to light the room. Shadows deepen, becoming calmer, less curious. The puppies stir as the light changes, then settle once more. The black puppy with the white star stretches its front paws forward, claws tapping softly against the wooden floor, then tucks them back beneath its chest. The gray puppy nudges closer, nose pressed into warm fur, breathing deep and even. You may begin to feel that pleasant heaviness in your limbs now, as if gravity itself has grown kinder, gently encouraging you to sink into the surface beneath you. There is no resistance needed, just allowing. The baker steps to a small shelf lined with jars. Each jar holds something simple: sugar, cinnamon, dried apple slices, lavender tied in twine. The baker lifts the lavender, opens the lid just enough to let the scent drift into the room. It is faint, barely there, but it blends with the warmth and rain in a way that feels soothing. The jar is returned to its place. The shelf remains perfectly content, holding its quiet treasures. Everything in this bakery seems to understand its purpose and to fulfill it without hurry. Outside, a distant train horn sounds, low and far away. It does not interrupt the calm. It adds to it, a reminder that the world continues gently beyond these walls. The sound fades, carried off by the rain. You might imagine your thoughts slowing further now, spacing themselves out like the raindrops. There is more room between them, more quiet. If a thought arrives, it can sit for a moment, then leave without fuss. The baker checks the door, ensuring it is locked for the night. The bell does not ring this time. It rests. The windows fog slightly from the warmth inside, blurring the view of the street until it becomes nothing more than color and glow. The baker returns to the table and opens a small notebook, not to write, but to turn a single page and smooth it flat. Sometimes just touching paper is enough. The notebook is closed again and set aside, its presence comforting. The hearth crackles softly, then settles. The fire has found its balance, burning low and steady. The puppy's breathing matches it now, a gentle rise and fall, like waves lapping at a quiet shore. If sleep is beginning to pull at you, you can let it. There's nothing else you need to hear, nothing to hold on to. The bakery will keep going, rain or shine, waking or dreaming. The baker leans back in the chair, eyes half closed, listening. The rain, the fire, the soft chorus of sleeping pups. It is enough. It has always been enough. And as the night wraps itself more tightly around the town, the new rainy day bakery rests, glowing softly in the rain, a small island of warmth and calm. The rain eases into a whisper now, a fine mist that seems to hover rather than fall. The town outside feels suspended, as if time has decided to take a breath. In the new rainy day bakery, that pause is welcomed, invited in like an old friend. The baker stands once more, stretching slowly, feeling the gentle pull of muscles that have worked just enough for the day. The floorboards respond with the softest creak, not a complaint, just an acknowledgement. The puppies barely stir, so deep in their dreams that even sound feels distant. A kettle is placed on the stove, not because it is needed, but because the sound of it warming is comforting. The faint hum as it heats adds another layer to the quiet music of the room. Steam curls upward, lazily, disappearing into the dim light. You might imagine yourself standing there too, wrapped in a sweater, feeling the warmth seep into you from the hearth, from the mug, from the very walls. The kind of warmth that stays with you long after you leave. The baker pours hot water over a simple tea bag, the scent blooming gently. No rush. The cup is set down and left to cool. Everything here knows when to wait. Outside, a single car passes, tires hissing softly against wet pavement. The sound fades quickly, leaving behind an even deeper quiet. The street lamp's glow reflects in the puddles, stretching and bending like a dream. The puppies shift again. The golden one rolls onto its back, paws curled, belly rising and falling with slow, steady breaths. The black puppy rests its chin on the edge of the blanket, ears flopped sideways. The gray one twitches, chasing something pleasant through sleep. You may notice your own breathing now, slow and rhythmic, almost guided by the scene, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Each exhale, releasing another small tension you did not realize you were holding. The baker lifts the mug again, taking a careful sip. The warmth spreads, settling. Eyes close briefly, then open. There is a contentment here that does not need words. The hearth dims slightly as a log shifts, sending a soft cascade of embers inward. The light flickers, then steadies. Shadows respond, moving just enough to remind you they are alive, but friendly. If your thoughts have become fuzzy, that is perfectly okay. They can blur like the view through the fogged windows. You do not need clarity right now. Rest is enough. The bakery seems to breathe with you, in, out. The rain outside pauses, then resumes lightly, as if checking in. Everything is gentle. Everything is slow. The baker tidies one last time, aligning a chair, straightening a folded cloth. Small acts that bring quiet satisfaction. Then they sit again, still, listening. The night deepens. The puppies dream on the hearth glows. The rain whispers. And you, dear listener, can drift further now, carried by the calm of this rainy day bakery, floating softly toward sleep. The rain returns with a gentle confidence, not loud or demanding, just present enough to be felt. It brushes the roof in soft patterns, like fingertips tracing familiar lines. Inside the new rainy day bakery, everything remains unhurried, wrapped in that particular kind of calm that only arrives late at night. The air feels thicker with warmth now, carrying the faint scents of tea, butter, and wood smoke, all blending into something that feels deeply safe. The baker leans back in their chair, letting the day fully release its hold. Their breathing slows, shoulders softening, as if they too are becoming part of the furniture, part of the quiet rhythm of the room. The hearth continues, its low murmur, steady and reassuring. The light it casts no longer reaches every corner, and the shadows that remain feel kind, like places meant for rest. The puppies lie tangled together, a small, breathing bundle of warmth. Every so often, one shifts, pressing closer, and the others adjust without waking. Their dreams seem peaceful, full of fields damp with rain and warm hands and endless play that never tires them out. Watching them, it is easy to feel your own body responding, muscles loosening as if they remember how to rest by watching. Outside, the town sleeps. Windows are dark, the streets are empty. Even the rain seems to respect the stillness, falling more softly now, pausing between drops. A breeze moves through the trees, and wet leaves brush against one another with a quiet, rhythmic sound. It slips through a tiny crack in the window and cools the warm air just enough to feel refreshing. The baker stands once more, padding quietly across the floor, careful not to disturb the moment. A blanket is lifted from a nearby shelf and gently draped over the puppies, tucked just enough to keep the warmth in. None of them wake. They only sigh, settling deeper into their sleep as if thanking the night. You might feel a similar pull now, that gentle downward tug of rest inviting you to sink further. Your eyelids may feel heavy, your thoughts slower, less interested in forming full sentences. That is exactly how it should be. There is no need to follow every image. You can let them blur together, like reflections in rain pooled on stone. The baker returns to the table and sits quietly, hands resting, gaze unfocused. The tea has cooled to the perfect temperature, and each sip feels grounding. The clock ticks on, patient and polite. Time here is not something to manage. It is something to float within. The hearth gives a soft pop, then settles again. Embers glow like small, sleepy stars. Their light dances once more across the walls, then calms. The room feels as though it is gently rocking, not moving, but soothing in the way a memory can be. Rain continues its soft conversation with the roof. The puppies breathe. The baker listens. And you, dear listener, are free to drift, knowing this quiet place will hold the story for you, even as sleep begins to take over. The night settles more deeply now, as if the world has decided to tuck itself in. The rain becomes a steady, patient companion, no longer changing its pace, simply existing. In the new rainy day bakery, the warmth feels layered, like blankets stacked just right, the kind of warmth that reaches not only the skin, but the spaces beneath it, where worries tend to hide. The baker shifts in the chair and exhales slowly, a long breath that seems to signal the official end of the day. The bakery responds in kind. The floorboards are quiet. The jars on the shelves seem to lean into their stillness. Even the air feels calmer, as though it has found its place and intends to stay there for the night. The puppies are fully surrendered to sleep now. Their sides rise and fall in gentle unison, a soft rhythm that feels almost hypnotic. One lets out a tiny whimper, then relaxes again, reassured by the warmth and the quiet. The blanket rests over them like a promise that nothing will disturb their dreams. You may notice that your own body feels heavier now, comfortably so, as if gravity has increased just enough to keep you safely grounded. Your hands might feel warm, your feet relaxed. Your breathing is slow and natural. There is no effort involved anymore, just allowing. Outside, the rain darkens the pavement until it shines. Reflections shimmer beneath the street lamp, stretching and blurring with each falling drop. The town seems to glow from within, not from lights, but from rest. Houses breathe quietly, trees drip steadily. The night feels kind. The baker stands and moves to the window, resting a hand against the cool glass. For a moment, they simply watch. There is nothing to see, really, just rain and shadow and light. And yet, it feels complete, enough to fill the mind without crowding it. A soft yawn escapes the baker, unguarded and natural. They smile at themselves and turn back toward the hearth. One log shifts, settling into a deeper glow. The fire seems to understand it is time to burn slowly now, to conserve its warmth for the long night ahead. You might imagine lying somewhere comfortable as you listen. A bed, a couch, a chair, pulled close to warmth. Whatever it is, it holds you gently, without pressure. You do not need to adjust. You do not need to think. Just listening is enough. The bakery clock ticks quietly, marking moments that no longer matter. Minutes stretch into something softer. Time here feels more like a feeling than a measurement. The baker dims the final lamp, leaving only the hearth and the faint glow from outside. The room becomes a collection of warm shadows and gentle light. The puppies shift slightly, then still again. Their dreams deepen. Perhaps they are running through rain-soaked fields, paws splashing lightly, laughter in the air. Or maybe they are right here, dreaming of warmth and safety, of this place that holds them so carefully. Your thoughts may feel distant now, like they are happening in another room. That is perfectly fine. You do not need to follow them. You can let them fade, like the sound of rain when you fall asleep with a window cracked open. The baker settles once more, closing their eyes, not fully asleep, just resting in that peaceful space between waking and dreaming. The bakery hums softly around them, a living thing made of wood and warmth and quiet intention. Rain continues its steady fall. The hearth glows. The puppies breathe. And you, dear listener, are invited to drift even further, carried by this calm, knowing that nothing will ask anything of you until morning comes. When you are ready, sleep can take you. The bakery will remain warm and waiting, holding the quiet for you until you return. The rain begins to slow again, not stopping, just easing into longer pauses between drops. Each pause feels spacious, like a breath held gently before being released. Inside the new rainy day bakery, that same spaciousness fills the room. Nothing presses in, nothing pulls away. Everything simply exists, balanced and calm. The baker remains seated, eyes closed now, listening more than thinking. The warmth from the hearth reaches their feet, travels upward, and settles in the chest. It is the kind of warmth that does not fade quickly, the kind that lingers even after the fire has gone low. The mug rests untouched on the table, steam no longer rising, but still comforting in its presence. The puppies barely move at all now. Their sleep has deepened into something quiet and steady. Their dreams slow and kind. One ear flicks, then relaxes. A paw stretches, then curls back in. Their small bodies trust the night completely, and that trust seems to fill the room like another soft light. You might feel as though the edges of your awareness are softening too. Sounds seem farther away. The rain blends with the hush of the bakery until it becomes one continuous tone. If you are still awake, you may notice that listening requires less effort now. The story carries itself. Outside, clouds drift slowly across the sky, hiding and revealing the moon in turns. When the moon peeks through, its light catches on wet leaves and rooftops, making them shimmer faintly before the clouds return. The town remains asleep, wrapped in this gentle exchange between rain and night. The baker stirs just enough to pull a shawl around their shoulders. The fabric is worn, familiar, carrying the faint scent of wood smoke and clean linen. They settle back into the chair, content. There is no list of things to do, no plans forming, only this moment, complete on its own. The hearth glows low now, embers pulsing softly like a heartbeat. The room breathes with it, in, out, slow, steady, the kind of rhythm that invites your own body to follow, easing you deeper into rest with every breath. If thoughts still drift through your mind, they may feel less solid now, more like impressions than ideas. You do not need to hold on to them. You can let them pass, like reflections sliding across rain-soaked glass, present for a moment, then gone. The bakery feels smaller now, not cramped, just intimate. The walls seem closer, as if leaning in to protect the quiet. The ceiling holds the warmth in. The floor cradles every step, even when no one is walking. The puppies breathe on, undisturbed. Their warmth gathers beneath the blanket, creating a little island of comfort. The baker glances at them briefly, a soft smile crossing their face, then closes their eyes again, reassured. You might imagine sleep approaching gently now, not rushing, not pulling, just arriving when it is welcome. There is no need to meet it halfway. It will come to you on its own, guided by the rain, the warmth, the quiet story still unfolding around you. The rain outside thins further, becoming a fine mist. Drops cling to branches and wires, trembling slightly before falling. The sound becomes lighter, almost like a whisper shared between the sky and the ground. Inside, the final lamp hums softly, barely audible. The bakery holds its breath, then releases it slowly, settling into the deepest part of night. The baker's breathing remains calm and even. The puppies dream. The hearth glows faintly. The night reaches its deepest point, that quiet stretch where even time seems to rest. The rain has thinned to an occasional drop, spaced so far apart that each one feels deliberate, like a soft reminder that the world is still there, still turning gently. Inside the bakery, the warmth remains constant, settled into the walls, the floors, the very air. The baker's breathing is slow, and even now, eyes closed, body relaxed but present. They are not fully asleep, just resting in that peaceful place where thoughts no longer form clearly. The chair supports them easily, as if shaped over years to hold this exact moment. The puppies remain curled together, a quiet bundle of warmth and trust. Their dreams have grown still, no longer filled with movement, just comfort. Their chests rise and fall in an unbroken rhythm, a small, steady tide. You may feel as though you are floating slightly now, awareness loosening its grip. Sounds feel distant, sensations blur softly. If you notice your body at all, it may feel heavy and light at the same time, anchored and drifting. This is a natural place to be, a place the night knows well. Outside, the clouds shift slowly, revealing a sliver of moon that casts a pale glow over the wet street. The reflections are muted now, calmer, as if the rain has finished telling its story and is content to listen instead. The breeze has stopped. Leaves hang quietly, holding onto their droplets. The hearth has settled into embers, glowing low and red, releasing just enough heat to keep the room comfortable. Occasionally, one ember brightens, then dims again, like a slow blink. The shadows no longer move much. They have found their places for the night. The baker stirs slightly, adjusting the shawl, then stills again. A faint smile rests on their face, unguarded and peaceful. There is nothing left to consider. The day has been fully set down. You might imagine the bakery from above now, a small pocket of warmth in a sleeping town. Light glowing softly through fogged windows. Rain darkened the roof. Inside, quiet lives and gentle dreams unfold without effort. If sleep has already taken you, the story continues without needing you. If you are still awake, you may feel it drawing closer now, like a tide moving in slowly, steadily, impossible to resist and not needing to be resisted. The rain stops completely for a moment. The silence that follows is deep, but not empty. It is full of everything that has settled. Warmth, safety, rest. The bakery remains still. The puppies breathe. The baker rests. The hearth glows faintly. And you, dear listener, are held within this calm, free to drift all the way into sleep, knowing this gentle rainy day story will remain, waiting for you whenever you need it again. The quiet now feels complete, like a circle gently closed. Outside the bakery, the clouds rest in place, no longer moving with purpose, just lingering. The street lamp hums softly, its light steady and unbothered. Water clings to the edges of roofs and railings, gathering into droplets that fall only when they are ready. Nothing is rushed, nothing is unfinished. Inside, the bakery holds its warmth carefully, as if it knows this hour is delicate. The scent of pancakes has faded into a softer memory, replaced by clean wood, cooling tea, and the faint sweetness of lavender still lingering in the air. The baker remains still in the chair, breathing deep and slow, chest rising and falling in a rhythm that feels ancient and reassuring. The puppies have reached that deepest layer of sleep where movement is no longer needed. Their bodies are completely relaxed, limbs loose, faces smooth. The blanket over them rises and falls gently, a small, shared breath. They are not dreaming of running now. They are dreaming of staying. You may feel yourself sinking further, as if the surface beneath you has grown warmer and more forgiving. Your thoughts may no longer come in sentences, but in soft impressions, a color, a sound, a feeling of being held. There's no need to name any of it. The hearth gives off one final, quiet crackle as an ember settles into ash. The light dims slightly, but the warmth remains. It always does. The shadows along the walls barely move now, content to rest where they are. Outside, far away, a dog barks once, then stops. The sound drifts in and dissolves before it can become a thought. Somewhere else, rain begins again, but not here. Here, the night has decided to stay still a while longer. The baker shifts just enough to rest their head back, eyes fully closed now. The chair creaks softly, then quiets. Hands rest loosely in their lap. The body knows how to sleep. It always has. You might imagine the bakery breathing with you, its walls expanding slightly with each inhale, settling back with each exhale. In, out, slow, gentle. There is no separation now between you and the calm around you. You are part of it. The clock ticks on, but its sound is barely noticeable, softened by distance and stillness. Time here has lost its sharp edges. It has become something round and smooth, something you can drift inside. The puppies stir once, all together, then relax again, as if responding to a shared dream. One tail thumps softly against the floor, then stops. Silence returns, deeper than before. You may feel that last small thread of wakefulness loosening now. The need to listen closely fades. The story does not require attention anymore. It wraps itself around you instead, like a familiar blanket. Outside, the clouds finally part just enough to let moonlight spill across the bakery window. It glows pale and calm, illuminating dust motes drifting slowly through the air. They move without purpose, floating, settling, content to be where they are. The bakery remains exactly as it should be, warm, quiet, safe, a place that exists for moments like this, when the world needs somewhere to rest. The bakery has settled into complete stillness now, yet the quiet hum of life remains subtle and reassuring. The warmth from the hearth has spread evenly, filling every corner with a gentle radiance that feels almost tangible. Even the air seems heavier here in the coziest way possible. Thick with the memory of baked goods, the lingering aroma of tea, and a faint trace of lavender carried by the baker's careful hands. Each breath you take can draw in these scents, letting them settle deep in your chest, reminding you of the safety and softness of this space. The puppies lie in a serene heap near the hearth, their bodies forming a little island of warmth. The golden one stretches a paw lazily, then curls back, ears twitching as it sinks further into sleep. The black puppy presses closer to the gray one, forming a perfect, comforting triangle. Their tiny breathing rhythms are slow and even, almost like a gentle metronome, marking the passage of night in the most unhurried way imaginable. You may notice your own chest and shoulders begin to mimic that pace, each inhale and exhale sinking quietly with theirs. Outside, the rain has become a distant whisper. Drops trickle softly from leaves, landing in puddles with a muted plink, then fading almost entirely into the shadows of the street. The occasional drip from the roof sounds like a small, singular note in a lullaby, punctuating the calm without disturbing it. A gentle breeze shifts, carrying the faint smell of wet earth, mingling with the warmth inside. You can imagine leaning into it just a little, feeling the contrast of cool mist and cozy heat, a sensation so gentle it makes your body sigh in relief. The baker rises slowly, moving as though underwater, each step soft and deliberate across the wooden floor. There is no rush here, no urgency, only the serene rhythm of routine. They lift a small teacup, tilting it just slightly to inhale the softened aroma before letting it rest once again on the table. Their movements are meditative, each one small and meaningful, contributing to the quiet choreography of the evening. You might feel drawn into this rhythm, your own body subconsciously slowing, releasing tension you didn't realize you were holding. The hearth crackles softly, a single ember shifting and sending a tiny spark upwards before settling. The shadows on the walls dance ever so slightly, stretching long and thin, then folding back into themselves. You may notice the shapes forming in your mind as you watch, softening as your eyelids grow heavier, merging with the shapes in your dreams. Even the ticking of the small wall clock seems gentler now, its measured beat acting as a lullaby that nudges you closer to rest without a single word spoken. From the corner of the bakery, a gentle clatter sounds as a tray is pushed back into place. The baker had left it with leftover crumbs from earlier, a reminder that even small things matter. But there is no urgency in returning it. Even the crumbs can wait. Everything here exists in a slow, deliberate patience, teaching you with quiet authority that it is okay to pause, to rest, to simply exist without action or worry. You may imagine yourself sitting at one of the small wooden tables, feet tucked comfortably beneath you, hands wrapped around a warm mug. Steam rises in lazy spirals, carrying a faint scent of honey and vanilla. Outside, rain taps lightly against the window, each drop a whisper, each whisper a gentle nudge toward dreams. The puppies stir slightly, ears flicking, then settle again, reminding you that comfort is steady, safe, and always present. The night deepens further, and the bakery seems to grow even warmer. It is as though the walls themselves have absorbed the day's activity and now radiate it back in a soft, constant glow. You can feel the quiet reaching into your limbs, softening tension in your hands, shoulders, and jaw. Even your mind feels lighter now, thoughts scattering like petals in the wind, dissolving into the rhythm of the room. The baker takes one final look around before settling back into the chair, eyes closing as they rest fully into the peace of the evening. The puppies stir one last time, then nestle down more deeply into the blanket, a small sigh escaping one of them. Outside, the world is still and hushed. Rain mists the air, street lights glow faintly, and the trees sway just enough to make a soft, comforting rustle. In this moment, the bakery feels infinite, a sanctuary not bound by walls or doors, but by warmth, sound, and presence. Every soft noise, every subtle movement is a reminder that life can be gentle, that stillness is possible, that comfort can be found in the smallest corners. You may notice that your eyelids are heavier now, that your body has begun to sink fully into whatever surface holds you, and that your mind floats lightly, drifting alongside the imagery of rain, firelight, and sleeping puppies. And so, dear listener, the bakery remains, holding its quiet vigil over the night. You are safe here. You are calm. Every breath brings you closer to sleep. Every heartbeat matches the slow rhythm of the hearth and the gentle breathing of the puppies. You are part of this serene world now, and it will carry you into rest without effort, without need for attention. The night lingers on, holding the bakery in its quiet embrace. The rain outside has slowed further, falling in thin, irregular patterns that patter softly against the roof. Occasionally, a droplet slides down the window pane, leaving behind a little trail that glimmers in the faint glow of the street lamp. Each tiny sound blends seamlessly with the warmth and stillness inside, creating a delicate symphony that is both grounding and hypnotic. You may feel yourself sinking further into this atmosphere, every muscle unwinding, as if the bakery itself is gently cradling you. The baker moves slowly once more, as if remembering that even the smallest actions can be part of a comforting ritual. They pick up a small cloth and run it along the edge of the counter, circling it in smooth, deliberate motions. The sound is soft, almost inaudible, yet somehow satisfying in its completeness. In the corner, the puppies shift, their tiny movements barely noticeable. One stretches a back paw just slightly, then relaxes, curling closer to its sibling. Each breath they take is long and even, a living lullaby that fills the room with calm. Outside, the mist rises from the wet pavement, carrying the faint scent of rain-soaked earth and leaves. A soft breeze pushes through the slightly cracked window, cool against the warmth inside. You can imagine leaning toward it, feeling the gentle contrast on your skin, the softness of the air brushing across your cheeks. There is no rush to move, no need to do anything at all. You are allowed to simply be. The hearth glows steadily, its embers warm and reassuring. Occasionally, one sparks lightly, sending a tiny flake of orange across the logs before it settles. Shadows dance across the walls in slow, rolling patterns, expanding and contracting with the life of the fire. These shadows do not startle or demand attention. They are companions in the night, quiet witnesses to the gentle rhythm of the bakery. You may notice that your eyes feel heavier as you watch them, that each blink comes easier, slower, as though the room itself is encouraging sleep. The baker sits back again, lifting a small cup of tea, inhaling the softened aroma before taking a tiny sip. The warmth spreads from their lips down through the chest, through the arms, and into the fingers, lingering in a satisfying, soothing wave. The puppies shift slightly, sensing the movement, but they do not wake. Their trust in the bakery's quiet, in the warmth around them, is complete. You might feel that same sense of security slowly settling over your own body, as if the room itself is wrapping a blanket around you. Through the fogged windows, the night outside continues its soft symphony. The occasional leaf shakes loose from its branch, spinning downward in a lazy dance. A distant car moves through the mist, tires whispering against the wet asphalt. Every sound blends into the overall hush of the night, a background that soothes rather than interrupts. You may find yourself drifting, carried gently along by these faint noises, each one a note in a lullaby that reaches deep inside. The baker rises one last time to check on the puppies, smoothing the blanket gently across their sleeping forms. The motion is slow, deliberate, and almost meditative. Each pup responds with a small adjustment of body, a sigh, or a tiny shuffle, all part of the quiet choreography of rest. Once satisfied, the baker returns to the chair, settling in with a soft exhale. The mug rests on the table beside them, now cool but comforting in its presence. The hearth hums low, almost like a heartbeat, steady and reliable. As you listen, you may notice that your thoughts are no longer forming in sentences, but rather as gentle images. The warm glow of the bakery, the soft fluff of the puppies, the rhythmic patter of rain. You may feel your body sinking deeper into your surface, supported fully, as if the bakery has extended its calm directly to you. There is nothing you need to do. No one is waiting. You are held here, in this quiet pocket of night, safe and unhurried. Outside, the clouds shift slowly, revealing a sliver of the moon that reflects faintly on the damp streets. The light is soft and silvered, muted by the lingering mist, adding a layer of magic to the night. You may imagine it spilling into the bakery through the windows, mixing with the firelight to create a warm, comforting glow. Dust motes drift lazily in this light, moving slowly as if dancing, each one a tiny, quiet point of calm in the air. The puppies stir again very slightly, one of them pressing a paw against a sibling, then settling back completely. Their soft breathing is a gentle reminder of life continuing in the quietest, most peaceful way possible. You may notice your own chest matching this rhythm without effort, each rise and fall deepening the sense of relaxation, each exhale carrying away a little more tension. The bakery itself seems alive now, not in a busy way, but in the soft, breathing rhythm of comfort. The walls hold warmth. The floorboards remember every step taken today and release it slowly. The air feels thick and full, but comforting, a gentle cocoon around everyone inside. Even the smallest sounds, the faint pop of an ember, the settling of the blanket, the soft sniff of a dreaming puppy are amplified in a way that feels protective, as if the night itself is holding you. You may find your eyelids drooping fully now. Every blink feels heavier than the last. Every breath slows even further. Your mind floats like a leaf on water, drifting along, carried by the gentle rhythm of the bakery, the hearth, and the night outside. You are part of this calm. You are part of this rest. You are safe. You are still. And so, dear listener, the bakery holds its vigil through the night, steady and unhurried. The puppies breathe in their sleep. The hearth glows low. The baker rests fully in the moment. And you, too, are invited to drift fully into rest, knowing that this world of gentle rain, warm light, and quiet companionship will continue to hold you safe and peaceful until morning light returns. The night stretches on, deep and velvety, and the bakery rests in its gentle cocoon. Outside, the rain has almost stopped entirely, leaving behind a fine mist that drifts lazily along the empty streets. The air is cool and fragrant, carrying the scent of wet earth and moss, the subtle perfume of a world refreshed. Through the bakery window, you can see the glimmer of street lamps reflecting softly in puddles, each reflection wobbling slightly as the last drops of rain settle. It's a quiet spectacle, subtle and serene, demanding no attention but offering comfort in its stillness. Inside, the puppies remain nestled together in their blanket, fully surrendered to sleep. The golden one's paw twitches lightly, chasing an unseen dream. The gray puppy's ears shift, as if listening to some distant sound, then relax again. The black puppy stretches ever so slightly, pressing its head against a sibling, seeking warmth. Their tiny sighs are almost inaudible, yet the room absorbs them and transforms them into a lullaby. You may feel your own body responding, muscles releasing tension, shoulders and jaw softening, eyelids growing heavier. The baker, too, rests fully now, head tilted slightly back in the chair, eyes closed, breathing slow and steady. Each breath seems to carry the calm of the bakery into the air itself, spreading warmth like a soft blanket over everything. The mug of tea rests on the table beside them, now cooled completely, but the memory of its warmth lingers. Even the faint scent of honey and vanilla seems to float more distinctly in the quiet night air, settling gently into your senses. Outside, the mist begins to thin, and the first hints of the coming day filter through the clouds. A pale light brushes the edges of the rooftops, soft and tentative. The world is holding its breath, still wrapped in the fragile peace that follows rain. Each sound is delicate, the occasional drip from a gutter, the rustle of leaves as a gentle breeze shifts them, the distant coo of a night bird, ready to rest before the morning chorus. These tiny details blend together to create a subtle rhythm that is both hypnotic and comforting. The hearth, now reduced to soft embers, glows faintly, casting long, thin shadows along the walls. The light is gentle and forgiving, revealing the familiar shapes of jars, counters, and shelves without sharp edges or contrasts. You may notice the soft flicker of the flames reflected in the wooden surfaces, a tiny dance of warmth and light that moves in slow, deliberate patterns. It is the kind of light that encourages rest, the kind that nudges every part of you toward relaxation and sleep. The baker shifts slightly, lifting a hand to smooth the blanket over the sleeping puppies once more. Their movements are slow, precise, unhurried, each gesture almost ritualistic in its gentleness. The puppies respond with small, satisfied sighs, curling closer together. Their trust is complete, and the space around them vibrates softly with it. You may imagine yourself in the room, your own body feeling lighter, yet fully supported, every muscle softening as the rhythm of life in the bakery carries into your own. From the window, you notice the first hints of morning light beginning to seep into the bakery, soft and silvery, mixing with the glow of the embers. The air shifts slightly, warmer in places where sunlight touches it, cooler in shadows, creating a gentle play of temperature that soothes rather than startles. You might imagine the light spreading slowly, stretching across the room, brushing your cheeks, illuminating dust motes that drift lazily through the air, each one caught for a brief moment in the soft glow. The puppies begin to stir lightly as the night begins its slow surrender to morning. One stretches its little back, then curls again, while another nudges a sibling, moving gently in the cocoon of the blanket. Even in this slight awakening, there is no rush. Every movement is deliberate, unhurried, comforting in its rhythm. You might feel your own body responding again, a sense of gentle expansion as you sink deeper into your soft, supported place, carried along by the calm, measured movements of life around you. The baker finally stirs fully, stretching their arms overhead in a slow, deliberate motion. The chair creaks softly in response, blending with the faint hum of the room. They rise, padding quietly across the floor, careful not to disturb the peaceful rhythm that has settled so completely over the space. Even the smallest sounds, the brush of slippers on wood, the faint clink of a mug being repositioned, are absorbed into the gentle symphony of the morning. From the corner, the puppies peek open one eye, then another, blinking slowly as the light grows around them. They yawn, long and lazy, stretching every limb carefully, before curling back into the blanket for just a moment longer. Their movements are slow, and you may find your own body mirroring that motion subconsciously, relaxing into deeper comfort, as if every little stretch, every sigh, every blink is a cue to surrender completely to rest. Outside, the street glistens with the remnants of rain, now catching more of the soft morning light. Trees sway gently in a renewed breeze, leaves brushing against one another in quiet conversation. A distant bird calls softly, its note clear but unhurried, joining the fading echo of the night and the quiet rhythm of the bakery. Everything feels exactly as it should, peaceful, safe, slow. You may feel yourself floating further into sleep, as though each breath draws you deeper into the world of the bakery. The warmth, the subtle light, the soft breathing of the puppies, the steady heartbeat of the embers all combine to form a gentle current that carries you further away from any thoughts or concerns. There is nothing else needed. No one is asking for your attention. Only calm surrounds you. Only calm exists. And in this quiet, the bakery holds you. Every sound, every flicker of light, every soft sigh of the puppies or the baker is a tender guide, leading you gently toward rest, toward dreams, toward deep and undisturbed sleep. You are part of this world now, fully enveloped in its rhythm, its warmth, its steady, soothing pulse. The first hints of pre-dawn light begin to filter through the bakery windows, soft and silvery, diffused by lingering mist from last night's rain. It stretches across the wooden floor in muted bands, brushing gently over the edges of tables and the blanket where the puppies still rest. The light is delicate, almost shy, like it does not want to disturb the deep quiet that has settled in the room. You may notice that as the light moves, shadows shift subtly in response, stretching long and thin before softening again, a slow dance of brightness and shade. The baker stirs quietly, stretching their arms upward and letting a long exhale escape. Their movements are careful, deliberate, designed not to disturb the gentle rhythm of the room. They step toward the counter, each footfall soft against the wooden floor, absorbed almost entirely by the lingering warmth and the hum of quiet life. The puppies stir slightly in response to the shift of air, one blinking lazily, then curling back into the blanket. Their breathing remains slow, steady, and reassuring. From the corner window, you can see droplets clinging to the leaves outside, catching the soft pre-dawn light and shimmering faintly, each one like a tiny jewel resting in stillness. The mist rises in the spaces between the street and the trees, curling and twisting in delicate spirals before dissolving completely. A faint breeze moves through, brushing against the slightly open window and carrying the scent of damp earth and fresh greenery into the bakery. You may imagine leaning toward this gentle current, feeling its cool, refreshing touch against your skin, while the warmth of the room holds you in a gentle embrace. The hearth glows low still, embers smoldering with a steady warmth, soft and comforting. The shadows along the walls stretch and soften again as the light from the window grows slowly stronger. Every surface, the counters, the shelves, the little jars and bottles feels alive with the quiet memory of the night, the warmth of baking, the faint aroma of honey and vanilla, the soft presence of the sleeping puppies. These details seem to hum together in a slow, gentle symphony, filling the bakery with a sense of calm that is almost tangible. The baker begins to prepare for the new day in a deliberate, soothing rhythm. They lift a small bowl, weighing it in their hands for a moment, then add flour in soft, measured sifts. Each movement is slow, meditative, with no rush at all. The sound of flour falling into the bowl is faint but distinct, a soft, comforting whisper. The baker adds a touch of milk, stirring carefully in slow circles, the spoon moving rhythmically as though each rotation is part of a quiet meditation. You may feel your own breathing matching this rhythm, in and out, slow and steady, arms and legs relaxing further into comfort. From their position near the hearth, the puppies stir again. One stretches, a slow, deliberate motion that uncurls its body inch by inch. Another lifts a sleepy head, blinking in the soft light, then nudges its sibling back down, curling close for warmth. They yawn softly, tiny breaths blending into the overall hum of the morning, a lullaby of comfort and trust. Watching them, you may feel your own body responding subconsciously, jaw loosening, shoulders dropping, chest expanding and releasing with ease. Outside, the town remains quiet, wrapped in the gentle fog left from the night. The occasional bird calls, a soft, distant sound, yet no rush is implied, no hurry. The leaves shimmer faintly with the last remnants of rain, and the cobblestone streets glisten, each droplet reflecting light in miniature patterns. Everything moves slowly, deliberately, in a way that feels designed to lull both the bakery and you, the listener, into perfect calm. The baker lifts the lid of a small tray, revealing pancakes resting perfectly on their warm surface. The steam rises in soft, lazy swirls, carrying a faint scent of butter and vanilla. They slide a pancake gently onto a plate, the motion slow and precise, careful not to disturb the serene rhythm of the kitchen. You may imagine this scene unfolding in your mind, each detail vivid yet gentle, the soft patter of a spatula, the warmth of the plate, the tiny curls of steam rising upward into the morning light. The puppies stir once more, one paw reaching out to touch the edge of the blanket, as if feeling for something familiar. Then they settle again, their eyes closing briefly, breathing steady and even. The baker sits, placing the plate carefully before them, and takes a moment to enjoy the stillness, a quiet smile touching their lips. The bakery feels alive with calm, each element, the puppies, the hearth, the pre-dawn light, the smell of warm pancakes blending into one continuous wave of peace. You may notice now that your body feels fully supported, every point of contact with your surface stable and comfortable. Your mind floats lightly, carried on the rhythm of the bakery, the slow rise and fall of the puppies, breathing the gentle movement of embers in the hearth, the faint sizzle of batter on the griddle, the soft glow of morning light across wooden surfaces. There is no need for thought, no need for effort, just presence, quiet and rest. And as you continue to listen, you may imagine the bakery slowly filling with more light, the pre-dawn mist giving way to the first warm colors of morning. The town will awaken gently, the air fresh and crisp, carrying the distant sound of birds and the soft stir of life. But inside, the bakery remains a sanctuary, holding you and the puppies and the baker in the same serene rhythm. Every breath, every heartbeat, every quiet sound is part of this calm, guiding you deeper into rest, deeper into dream. The morning grows brighter, though softly, gently, without urgency. The sky outside shifts from muted gray to tender shades of pale blue and faint pink, filtered through the remaining mist that curls lazily along the rooftops and streets. Light spills into the bakery in long, delicate beams, brushing the counters, shelves, and floor in a gentle glow. Each particle of dust suspended in the air catches the light, drifting slowly in soft spirals, as if dancing to a rhythm too subtle to hear but impossible to resist feeling. You may sense this dance in your own body, as though each drifting speck mirrors the slow release of tension from your muscles, letting every part of you soften further. The baker moves quietly through the bakery, each step deliberate, slow, and comforting. Bare feet make only the faintest sound against the warm wooden floor. They approach the counter where a small bowl of batter waits, stirred gently the night before, now thick and creamy. Each motion is measured, soothing, as the baker lifts a ladle, letting a stream of batter fall in soft arcs onto the griddle. You can almost hear the gentle hiss as it touches the warm surface, each small sound forming part of the invisible symphony of morning calm. The puppies stir in response to the faint warmth and sound. One stretches slowly, pressing its little body against the blanket before curling again. Another yawns, a soft, almost silent exhale that seems to ripple through the room, encouraging stillness and relaxation. Their trust and contentment are palpable, a living rhythm of comfort that you may feel subtly echoing through your own chest and arms. Each breath, each tiny movement merges with the gentle pulse of the bakery itself. Through the window, the town awakens gradually. A distant bird calls, its song soft and lingering, weaving through the light mist that hugs the streets. Leaves quiver slightly in a warm, early morning breeze. Tiny droplets glisten on petals and rooftops, remnants of the night's rain, catching light and reflecting it in miniature sparkles. The world outside mirrors the interior of the bakery.com, slow and safe. You may picture yourself seated near the window, cup of tea in hand, breathing in the subtle scent of wet earth mixed with the warm aroma of fresh pancakes. The hearth still holds faint warmth, though the embers have almost completely dimmed. Shadows stretch long across the floor and walls, soft and forgiving. Each surface glows in the soft morning light, revealing textures in the wood and walls that are warm and reassuring. Even the smallest sounds, the soft scrape of a spatula, the gentle clink of a mug being moved feel amplified in a comforting way, drawing your awareness into a quiet focus that soothes rather than stimulates. The baker flips a pancake gently, the motion slow and deliberate, a small puff of steam rising and curling gracefully. The scent of butter, warm batter, and vanilla fills the room, mingling with the faint aroma of tea and the lingering lavender from the night. You may imagine taking a deep breath, letting the warm, comforting fragrance spread through your chest and shoulders, inviting a sense of ease and calm that radiates outward to every fingertip and toe. The puppies, sensing movement and warmth, nuzzle one another, stretching their small bodies in slow, luxurious motions. Each paw, each ear, each tiny yawn becomes part of the rhythm of the bakery. You may feel your own body responding, the subtle rise and fall of your chest matching theirs, your muscles releasing tension as if in response to their calm, gentle energy. The baker sets a small plate of golden pancakes on the table, steam curling upward in soft spirals. They pour a gentle stream of syrup, the liquid flowing slowly, thickly, almost like a warm ribbon in the morning light. You may imagine the motion in detail, seeing the subtle shine of the syrup, smelling its sweetness, feeling the warmth radiate from the plate into your hands, even if only in imagination. The world outside continues its gradual awakening. The mist begins to lift further, revealing glimpses of rooftops and trees bathed in soft pastel light. Birds stir, leaves shift, and a quiet hum of distant life begins to grow, all filtered through the serenity of the morning. Yet inside the bakery, the pace remains slow and unhurried. The warmth of the hearth, the gentle glow of sunlight, the rhythmic breathing of the puppies, and the deliberate, soothing motions of the baker all create a perfect bubble of calm and security. You may notice yourself sinking even deeper into your resting place, each breath a little slower, each exhale a little longer. Your mind drifts in time with the bakery, slow, gentle, safe. Thoughts become soft images, flashes of warmth, light, and comfort, rather than words or worries. Each sound, each movement Each subtle scent carries you further into a sense of deep relaxation, almost like a gentle tide guiding you toward sleep. And as the pre-dawn transforms into morning light, the bakery continues its quiet vigil, a sanctuary of warmth, calm, and slow, deliberate motion. The puppies curl closer, the baker moves with measured grace, and the aroma of breakfast drifts into the air. You are part of this world now, held fully in its rhythm, every detail guiding you further into rest, further into the embrace of sleep, and further into the quiet, comforting rhythm of life itself. The night deepens once more, folding the world into a quiet, shadowed cocoon. Outside the bakery, the rain has returned, softer now, a gentle patter that falls in rhythmic patterns onto the rooftops and sidewalks. Each drop splashes into puddles with a faint, hollow plink, echoing in the empty streets in a way that feels steady, familiar, and reassuring. The sound is soft enough to lull your thoughts, yet persistent, a slow hypnotic pulse that invites your body to release tension and sink fully into comfort. The clouds hang low and heavy in the sky, dark as velvet, blotting out stars, but softening the world beneath with a quiet hush. Mist rises from the wet streets, curling around lampposts and trees, blurring the lines between ground and sky. The air carries the cool, earthy scent of rain-soaked soil and leaves, a fragrance that seeps gently into the bakery, mingling with the warmth inside. Every inhale feels like a small wave of calm washing over you, relaxing your chest, shoulders, and jaw, and letting the world grow distant and soft. Inside, the bakery feels like a warm island amid the gentle storm. The hearth glows steadily, casting golden light across the room, flickering just slightly as if breathing along with the rhythm of the night. Shadows move slowly along the walls, curling and stretching in subtle waves. Each movement is soft, unhurried, almost hypnotic in its repetition. The puppies lie curled together near the fire, their little bodies rising and falling with each breath, completely relaxed. One stretches a tiny paw, then settles back, a faint sigh escaping, as though in answer to the gentle drum of rain outside. The baker sits quietly in their chair, arms resting softly on their lap, eyes half closed, listening to the symphony of the night. Every sound, the soft tap of raindrops, the distant rustle of leaves, the subtle crackle of the hearth blends into a single, calming rhythm. You may feel your own breathing sync with it, each inhale and exhale falling slowly into this shared pulse of quiet, peaceful life. From the window, the rain creates a soft, patterned curtain. Tiny rivulets of water run down the glass, merging and splitting in delicate paths, catching the light from the street lamp and the hearth. You may imagine reaching a hand toward the window, feeling the cool glass under your fingertips and tracing the paths of the droplets as they journey downward. Each droplet is a tiny, soothing note, part of the lullaby of night and rain, drawing your mind away from thought and into quiet awareness. Outside, a gentle wind rustles the trees, leaves tap lightly against one another, and branches sway slowly, their movements blending seamlessly with the constant rhythm of rainfall. Occasionally, a heavier drop falls from a branch, striking a puddle below with a muted splash, adding a soft punctuation to the ongoing symphony. The effect is hypnoticsteady.com, comforting. You may imagine yourself wrapped in the sound, each drop a gentle guide into deeper relaxation, each ripple of water a tender hand easing tension from your body. The puppies murmur softly in their sleep, tiny breaths echoing the rhythm of the rain. One nestles its head against a sibling, curling closer, trusting the warmth of the blanket and the bakery. Their trust and calm radiate through the room, filling the space with a sense of quiet security that seeps into you as well. You may feel your body loosening, limbs softening, shoulders dropping, jaw unclenching, every muscle responding to the gentle pulse of life and rain around you. The baker shifts slightly, adjusting a blanket around the puppies with soft, deliberate movements. The fire flickers in response, casting a tiny wave of light across the room, illuminating the faint mist clinging to the window panes. Each flicker is soft, subtle, like a heartbeat in the shadows, reminding you of warmth, continuity, and presence. Outside, the rain continues its quiet descent, a curtain of silver threads, each dropping a small, hypnotic rhythm that carries your thoughts away into calm, weightless space. You may imagine yourself seated quietly, cup of tea in hand, wrapped in a soft blanket, watching the rain trace endless patterns down the window. The warmth of the bakery contrasts beautifully with the cool mist outside, every sense alive, yet utterly relaxed. The smell of wet earth, the gentle sound of dripping water, the low hum of fire, and the soft breathing of puppies all combine into a cocoon of serenity. And as the night stretches on, the rain falling steadily, the bakery remains a sanctuary. You are held in the warmth and quiet, wrapped in the gentle rhythm of night, hearth, and water. Every sound, every flicker of light, every subtle movement of the puppies and baker is a reminder that nothing needs to be done, nowhere needs to be rushed. Only this calm exists, only this quiet, steady, hypnotic lull of night and rain. The rain continues to fall, soft yet persistent, creating a delicate rhythm that fills the night. It drifts from the sky in silvery threads, tapping against the roof in a gentle percussion that seems to synchronize with your own breathing. Each drop rolls along the eaves before falling into puddles below, sending tiny ripples outward in perfect concentric circles. You may imagine yourself sitting by the window, watching each ripple expand slowly across the water's surface, each circle a calming echo of your heartbeat, steady and reassuring. The street outside glimmers in the muted glow of street lamps, reflections rippling across the wet pavement. Trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves shaking loose droplets that splash softly on the ground. The sound is layered, a continuous patter from the roof, intermittent splashes from leaves and puddles, and a distant, almost imperceptible murmur of water running along gutters. All of it blends into a quiet, hypnotic symphony, each note soft, predictable, and comforting. Inside the bakery, the warmth is profound. The hearth glows low but steady, embers faintly crackling, sending soft pops that punctuate the sound of rain. Shadows stretch across the walls, moving in slow, lazy waves as the firelight flickers. The puppies are curled together in the blanket, breathing slow and even, their small bodies rising and falling in harmony with the rhythm of the room. One shifts slightly, pressing its nose against a sibling, then settles fully back, a tiny sigh escaping that merges seamlessly with the whisper of rain outside. The baker moves quietly through the space, each gesture deliberate, almost ritualistic. A soft brush of fingers over the wooden counter, a gentle adjustment of a blanket, the slow, precise movement of stirring a warm cup of tea. Each sound is soft but distinct, creating a sense of intimacy that invites you to sink deeper into stillness. You may feel your own muscles releasing tension in response, your body mirroring the deliberate calm around you. From the corner window, rain streaks distort the light from the street lamps, creating shifting patterns that crawl slowly across the walls. The droplets move in gentle rivulets, merging and splitting in unpredictable yet soothing paths. The movement is mesmerizing, almost meditative, as if each drop has its own story, its own journey before settling. You may imagine tracing these droplets with your eyes or even in your mind, following their quiet descent, letting each one carry a small piece of tension from your body away. The air is thick with the smell of wet earth mixed with warmth from the bakery, faint vanilla from last night's pancakes, the soft sweetness of honey, and the comforting aroma of the embers in the hearth. Each inhalation brings a wave of calm that spreads slowly, first through your chest, then into your arms and legs, finally settling into your fingertips and toes. The contrast between the cool, rain-scented air from the window and the cozy warmth inside enhances this sense of being cradled, held safely in a protective, serene bubble. Outside, the night deepens further, the sky a dark canvas, punctuated only by the occasional flicker of lightning far in the distance, muted by the rain. Thunder rumbles softly, not startling, but resonant, like the earth itself breathing slowly. The sound vibrates faintly through the walls, a reminder of the vast, calm energy of the world beyond the bakery. And yet, inside, the bakery remains untouched, a haven of warmth and gentle sound. The puppies stir slightly again, one lifting a sleepy head, blinking into the dim light, then pressing back against the warmth of the blanket. Their small movements are mirrored in your own body as tension drifts away with each blink, each exhale. The baker, noticing the soft stir, reaches down and smooths the blanket over them again, each motion slow, careful, deliberate. The touch is almost hypnotic, a tender rhythm of care and calm that seems to echo into your own awareness. From the window, you may notice droplets collecting on the leaves outside, trembling gently as more rain lands atop them. One droplet eventually falls, sliding along a leaf's curve before dropping softly into the puddle below. The tiny splash resonates quietly, almost like a punctuation in the long, gentle sentence of the night. Another follows, and another, each adding to the rhythm, each encouraging a deeper sense of relaxation and stillness. The hearth flickers gently, a tiny spark sending a warm glow across the floorboards. Shadows roll lazily along the walls, stretching and shrinking with the light, blending into the deep, slow patterns of the room. You may notice that your eyes feel heavier as you watch these movements, each flickering a gentle signal to let go of thought and surrender to rest. Each soft sound, the rain, the crackling fire, the tiny breaths of the puppy screeds, a seamless, layered experience of calm. And in this rhythm, the bakery holds its night, timeless and unhurried. You are part of this quiet world now, wrapped in warmth, embraced by gentle rain, and carried by the steady, soothing pulse of life. Every sound, every motion, every subtle aroma guides you deeper, further into a safe, dreamlike state where nothing is demanded and all is serene. The rain grows steadier, falling in a quiet, continuous rhythm that seems almost melodic. Each drop strikes the roof above the bakery with a soft, rolling sound, bouncing gently into puddles that shimmer in the dim light of the street lamp outside. The air is filled with the subtle, wet scent of the evening, cool, earthy, and alive with freshness. It drifts softly through the slightly open window, curling around the warmth of the bakery's interior, mixing with the comforting aroma of vanilla, honey, and wood smoke from the dying embers of the hearth. Inside, the puppies shift slightly under their blanket, stirring in their sleep, but never fully waking. Their little noses twitch as though chasing gentle dreams, tiny paws flexing now and then. One lifts a soft whine that barely breaks the rhythm of the night before, settling back into calm. Their peaceful presence adds a living heartbeat to the room, a delicate echo of the rain outside. You may feel your own chest rising and falling in quiet harmony with their slow, steady breathing. The baker sits near the hearth, a warm cup of tea cupped between their hands. Steam rises in lazy, curling spirals, carrying a soft scent of chamomile and honey that blends seamlessly with the atmosphere of the bakery. They take a slow sip, exhaling gently, and in that motion, the warmth seems to radiate outward, reaching the corners of the room and brushing over the puppies. You may imagine this warmth spreading through the room and into your own body, easing tension from every limb, every joint, every muscle, until you feel weightless and held entirely by the comforting energy around you. The window glistens with raindrops, each one moving slowly down the glass, merging and splitting in quiet, hypnotic patterns. Occasionally, a heavier drop hits with a soft, muted plink, punctuating the continuous rhythm of the night. Beyond the glass, the streets shimmer with wet reflections of the dim streetlights, broken only by the tiny ripples of falling rain. You might imagine tracing these patterns with your eyes, each drop a gentle, steady beat, drawing your mind away from thought and deeper into stillness. A soft breeze whispers through the slightly open window, brushing lightly against your skin. It carries with it the scent of wet earth and moss, the faint perfume of flowers drenched in rain, and a whisper of coolness that contrasts beautifully with the warmth inside. Each inhale seems to invite calm further into your body, your lungs filling with gentle serenity, your muscles loosening, your mind quieting. From the corner, the puppies stretch lazily, tiny bodies extending, then curling back into the blanket with contentment. One yawns, a soft, almost imperceptible sound, before snuggling closer to a sibling. Their small, deliberate movements are mirrored in the gentle sway of shadows cast by the flickering hearthlight, creating a slow, hypnotic rhythm that seems to pulse throughout the bakery. You may notice your own body responding to this rhythm, shoulders releasing, jaws softening, hands and feet sinking further into comfort. Outside, the rain varies in intensity. At moments, it falls lightly, a soft whisper against the rooftops. At others, it intensifies slightly, drumming gently against the window panes. The wind rustles the trees, sending tiny droplets cascading to the ground, adding layers of sound to the symphony of night. Each variation is subtle, soothing, never startling, creating a living, breathing environment that encourages your mind to let go entirely, letting the rain carry every last trace of tension away. The hearth crackles softly, sending tiny sparks up into the dim light, then fading again. Shadows dance slowly across the wooden floors, stretching and shrinking in time with the flicker of the fire and the soft pulse of the night. You may find your eyes growing heavier as you watch, lulled by the gentle repetition. Each flicker of light, a tiny invitation to drift further into a calm, dreamlike state. The baker reaches for a small notebook, writing slowly by the dim glow of the firelight. The soft scratch of pen on paper is almost imperceptible, but adds another layer to the tapestry of quiet sounds. Each stroke is deliberate, unhurried, blending perfectly with the rhythm of rain, breath, and heartbeat in the room. You may imagine yourself in this space, feeling the gentle focus, the calm, the deliberate care of each small movement, and sinking even deeper into your own sense of peace. The rain falls steadily now, a curtain of silver threads that seems to wrap the world outside in calm. Puddles glimmer faintly in the faint street lamp light, reflecting the night sky and the soft, muted glow from the bakery windows. Each ripple created by a falling droplet is mesmerizing, drawing your mind into a trance-like state where every thought becomes soft and distant, replaced by the gentle rhythm of night, rain, and warmth. The puppies stir once more, one paw stretching, then retreating into the safety of the blanket. Another twitches its ears, listening before settling again. The baker shifts slightly to adjust the blanket, their movements slow, deliberate, and soothing. Every subtle gesture, every quiet sound becomes part of the hypnotic pattern of the night, carrying you deeper into comfort, deeper into relaxation, and deeper into sleep. And in this moment, the bakery holds you completely. The warmth, the soft light, the gentle breathing of the puppies, the steady crackle of embers, and the persistent, hypnotic rhythm of rain outside create a cocoon of calm. Your body is heavy yet light, relaxed yet alert in the most peaceful way, fully surrendered to the serene rhythm of night and rain. The rain thickens slightly, yet never harshly. It drifts steadily from the sky, pattering against the roof in a gentle, persistent rhythm. Each drop strikes with a soft, satisfying touch, sliding off eaves, bouncing into puddles, and sending out tiny ripples that expand slowly across the water. The sound is steady, almost meditative, a constant companion that fills every corner of the night. You may notice your breathing slowing as you listen, each inhale and exhale aligning with the rhythm of the rain, your body settling deeper into calm. The window pane glistens with countless droplets, each one sliding slowly downward, tracing delicate paths that merge and separate again. Outside, the world is cloaked in shadowed silver light, the streetlights reflecting off wet pavements and casting gentle glows that move with every ripple in the puddles. The subtle movement of leaves in the wind creates a soft rustling, barely audible yet perfectly in harmony with the quiet drumming of rain. You might imagine tracing the path of a droplet down the glass with your finger, slow and deliberate, feeling every motion as a gentle reminder of the world's serene pace. Inside, the bakery is a sanctuary of warmth and light. The hearth glows softly, its embers breathing a quiet, steady heat that reaches the puppies curled in their blanket. One stretches a tiny paw, then relaxes completely, nuzzling into the warmth of its sibling. The gentle rise and fall of their bodies mirrors the subtle flicker of the firelight, creating a rhythm that seeps into your own awareness, your muscles loosening, shoulders dropping, and mind quieting. The baker moves with deliberate care, filling a small kettle with water, placing it gently on the stove. The faint hiss as the water begins to heat blends seamlessly with the patter of rain, the crackle of embers, and the tiny, steady breathing of the puppies. Each motion is unhurried, a deliberate act of mindfulness that invites you to relax further. You may imagine the warmth of the kettle, the soft steam curling upward, carrying the comforting aroma of tea leaves, a subtle sweetness that blends with the ambient scents of rain and wood smoke. Outside, the rain varies, shifting in rhythm and intensity. A heavier drop lands on the roof than another, creating a soft, rolling percussion that echoes gently through the quiet streets. The wind stirs slightly, brushing branches and shaking loose droplets that fall with tiny splashes into the growing puddles below. The combined effect is Hypnotica, layered symphony of soft, natural sounds that encourages the mind to let go of thought, to follow only the rhythm of night and rain. The puppies shift again, one yawning softly, a tiny sound that almost blends with the rhythm of the falling rain. Another stretches and curls back into the blanket, content and undisturbed. Their presence adds a living heartbeat to the room, subtle and grounding. You may notice your own body responding, chest rising and falling in quiet alignment with theirs. Every muscle slowly melting into comfort. The baker sits down in a comfortable chair, cradling a warm cup of tea. Steam rises in soft curls, twisting lazily in the glow of the hearth. Each sip is slow, deliberate, and soothing, the warmth spreading through the body like a gentle tide. You may imagine the sensation in your own chest and hands, a comforting heat that counterbalances the coolness of the rain outside, drawing you deeper into a cocoon of relaxation. The room is quiet yet full, each sound, each subtle movement. The fire flickers softly, casting rolling shadows across the wooden floors and shelves, painting the walls with gentle waves of light. The rain continues its steady descent, creating a soft silver curtain that shields the world outside while lulling everything inside into stillness. You may imagine the space expanding in your mind, each detail vivid yet soothing, the gentle flicker of firelight, the tiny steam trails from tea, the soft, wet scent of rain mixing with warmth and comfort. A distant rumble of thunder rolls through the sky, muted by the rain, low and steady. It resonates faintly in the bones of the bakery, a reminder of the vastness of the world outside, yet softened by the shelter of warmth and safety. Each rumble becomes part of the rhythm, a subtle vibration that merges with the heartbeat of the room, grounding you in a profound, tranquil calm. The puppies shift once more, snuggling closer into the blanket, their tiny breathing slowing again. The baker gently adjusts the fabric, tucking it around them with deliberate care, their hands moving slowly, rhythmically, in harmony with the night. Each gesture, each soft sound, each scent and flicker of light contributes to a deep, enveloping sense of peace. Outside, the rain softens once more, leaving a delicate mist that clings to leaves, rooftops, and window panes. Puddles shimmer faintly, reflecting the faint glow from streetlights and the soft warmth inside the bakery. The world feels slowed, suspended, wrapped in a cocoon of silver light and gentle sound. Inside, the warmth, the quiet, the slow rhythm of the hearth, the breathing puppies, and the baker's deliberate movements create a perfect sanctuary, guiding you deeper into stillness and sleep. Good night.